I know it's been several weeks since I last uploaded a video, but it's just been hectic both with personal life and work life. But here we are after several weeks of hiatus. And talking about work, I'm going to show you guys today some of the tools that I use to get my work done. So my work requires that I oversee the training department for the company that I work for. So we have about 5 employees that I oversee, and I ensure that these employees are providing regular updates and that reports and our goals are being met on time. So first and foremost, I do write a lot of reports, and that requires that I use a computer. And today I have my computer here, and this computer was provided to me through my employer. It is a Lenovo Extreme, and it has an i7 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte of solid state drive. So this computer runs pretty fast. If you are familiar with computer specifications, you will know that those are some pretty high specifications, and the reason for that is because I multitask a lot. So sometimes I have a minimum of about 5 or 6 programs open at once, and I also run various types of software in order to be able to complete my work. So I need a computer that's going to function fast and work well for me while attempting to get my work done. So for starters, my computer has JAWS, and JAWS is an acronym for Job Access with Speech, and JAWS is a screen reader. Essentially, it does what it says. It reads the screen to me, and anything that's on the screen, it's going to read it. So I can use JAWS in conjunction with any application. So I use JAWS to read my email on Outlook. I use JAWS on the internet to browse the internet. I use JAWS to write my reports, and as I'm writing the reports, it is reading to me what I'm writing. Anything I touch on the keyboard, it tells me what's on the screen. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of a sample of what JAWS is like. So I currently here have a folder. It's called Report Template, and I'm gonna open my report template that I use regularly to write my reports.
Enter. Opening dashboard. Opening dashboard. Table 1. Uniform table. Consumer name: row 1 of 3, column 1 of 2.
So at the top of my document, there is a table, and it has different form fields set up, and I just fill in the information: consumer name, and the authorization number, the amount of hours that were authorized, the amount of hours that were completed, things like that. And then it has a space underneath that table where it's a blank area, and I just type up my report there. And then underneath it has my signature, and at the very top it has the company's letterhead. So this is a template that's already set up that I use for every report, and I update it as need be. But the nice thing about templates is that as a blind person, it's kind of difficult to have to format things every single time. So from the very beginning, I just set up a template, and I learned this in college because I know that when I took my college courses, I had to write essays, and for MLA, there's certain specifications that are expected, and for APA, so those are just, for those of you who are not familiar, MLA and APA are just different types of formats that professors expect you to write your essays in. So I learned to have an APA format or APA template set up, as well as an MLA template, and that way, based on what the professors were requiring, I just used that template, and now I use that here at work. I have a template set up for my reports, and that's what I use for every report. So essentially, once my report is done, I save it, I go through it, I proofread it, and then I submit it. And that way my reports, I can ensure that they will be visually appealing every single time. So this is just a brief overview of how my computer works. And then so it's just gonna read, I'm just gonna have it read my signature here so you guys can see how the computer is able to read.
Juanita Herrera, Director of Training and Development, AT Crater & Co., Inc. 12062 Valley View ST, number 109, Garden Grove, COM 92845, tel :714-799-3000, fax :714-799-3100, link juanita@atcritter.com, link www.atcritter.com.
So yeah, that's essentially how my laptop works in every program that I use. And that is how I am able to type up my reports and submit them to the appropriate people. Now that you guys know how I write my reports and how I access other applications at work, I'm going to talk to you guys about the phone. So at work, I have a regular desk phone. Here it is, and you know, people just call me here and it rings, but I'm not able to see a visual display who is calling me for obvious reasons. So in place of that, I have our phone provider's app installed on my iPhone, and when somebody calls my extension or even the office, it rings on my phone, on my cell phone as well, and I'm able to see who's calling, or I'm able to return phone calls that I've probably missed. So I'll show you guys how that works.
Juanita Herrera, Juanita Herrera.
As you guys heard, it said my name out loud, and that way I'm able to see who called me. So that's the pretty neat thing about accessing phone calls through the phone app. Okay, now that you guys have seen how I use my computer for work and use my phone for work, I'm gonna show you guys a few minor adaptations that have been made to the office where I work so that myself and other people who are blind or visually impaired who also work with me or alongside me are aware of what's going on. So for the time being, because of COVID-19, we don't have our doors open to the public. We only see people by appointment. So when either we do have a lot of delivery people come. So what we've done is we've installed doorbells and each doorbell has a different sound. We have two doors, the front door and the back door, and this is how the front door sounds, and this is how the back door sounds when they ring the doorbell. And as you can tell, they both have a different sound so that we are able to distinguish from which door the bell is being rung. Also, when somebody does open the door, we are able to distinguish which door is being opened without having to look, because when, for instance, the front door is opened, we hear this sound.
Front door.
And when someone opens the back door, this is the sound we hear.
Back door.
So whether our doors are open to the public or whether we have an appointment or a delivery, we know which door people are coming in and out of based on the sound of either the doorbell or the alarm system announcement. So these are just some of the tools and adaptations that I use to perform my tasks at work. And everyone does things differently, so just because there are other blind people that you may encounter or may know doesn't necessarily mean that they too do their work the same way that I do. So I just wanted to share with you guys what I use personally to get my work done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video thus far, and I will try my best to upload videos more regularly now that things are not as hectic. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well and stay safe and take care. See you guys in the next video.